crispy.
Forget about it.
Don't ever do that again. You go straight to jail.
I'm walking.
You go straight to jail next time you do that. Now, we gotta take a step back for a minute real quick and just kind of give you a little context as to what you're about to see. You see, Matt and I have a bit of a silly relationship. We like to make fun of each other, joke around, bust balls. Matt is a talented guy, but I must say, he is an infinitely better cook than he is a communicator. And I enjoy making fun of him for it.
Something about communication. You can't figure out communication life.
Take last night, for example. Matt hosted a dinner at our friend Akshay's restaurant, and he invited a bunch of friends.
If you guys are familiar with an app called YouTube, this is based loosely off of a YouTube video I did like in October. It's good, it's rice. It's
Oh, it's just rice?
just rice. It's just rice.
Okay.
You want me to explain the dish?
Why don't you use your words? Use your words, Matt.
You're on video.
And now it is the next day, and Matt and I had planned on making a video together, and I guess we took some silly pills. I feel like I'm gonna laugh as soon as I start talking.
Come on, use your words. Use your words.
Because Matt blew in like a tornado, tearing up my kitchen, breaking things left and right.
Look at your face. 24. Now look at 35.
I look better at 24.
No, you look better at 35.
Not even
At
close.
24, you look like really thin and weird.
Yes, that's the idea.
It's like fisheye. Like a
I've
fisheye lens.
I've done this for 5 years. I've never once thought, there's a little distortion.
Is it going? Well, if it's going, I'm gonna put 35.
But you don't want to distort your face.
No.
Oh, what are you doing?
I don't know. It's too far. Why is it so close?
Welcome to Not Another Cookie.
Oh no.
For sake, Matt. Because of Matt
Why
wants
isn't there a
35
damn-
millimeter, he just broke the iPad.
I didn't move the board back.
You did move the board
Why
back.
isn't there a screen protector on this?
I had it placed, everything placed where it needed to be. This kid is a tornado. God damn it.
What are we doing now?
I-
Hi, my name's Matt.
Making it very difficult for me to be the professional that I am. It was a struggle to say the least, but at least we can now jump into the video. Because I'm looking at you, Walker. Stay right there for 1 minute, okay? Just stay right there for 1 minute. 3 years ago, I was hired to cater a taco party at 368, a creator space in downtown New York. I served 3 kinds of tacos, a barbacoa taco, an al pastor taco, and a mushroom taco with all sorts of salsas and stuff to go with it. I also served churros, but I've never made churros before. So at the time, my not yet famous friend, Matt Broussard, is that how you say the name? Broussard. Or as you may know him, a cook named Matt, who was at the time a tournant for 15 restaurants in Seattle. And he was doing social media on the side just like me at the time. And he just so happened to be a Mexican American who I knew made a good churro recipe. So I asked him for it, and he gave it to me. But like a spiteful grandma, he just gave me the ingredient list for a restaurant-sized batch of churros without much instructions, and it was just too much. I started to panic and regret the idea of even offering to serve churros at this event. I'm just really worried about the churros. I don't know why I'm so nervous about the churros. I'm a little over my head with the churros. Eventually, I got it together, I winged it, and of course ran into some problems. Piping bag didn't work. It was a dumb piping bag, and it was the wrong one to be using. I had an issue with the temperature of the oil, but after adjustments, I was able to get something that could maybe possibly resemble a churro. It doesn't look like a churro. And people ended up loving it. But as a zeppeli, a churro, or any sort of fried dough aficionado, it has bothered me ever since that I couldn't nail that churro recipe. But I decided to wait 3 years until my friend Matt got famous to come onto the show and help me fix churros forever. Matt, why didn't you give me the full recipe back then?
I did give you the full recipe.
You just gave me
I
we
sent
have the
you
photo
what I
evidence.
used.
I have the photo evidence.
You
I
said you're
showed the
gonna
people.
cook for 80 people? I was like, oh, it's plenty for 80 people.
For those of you who don't understand, Matt is a savant communicator.
And I don't know what that means.
Now here's the thing is I know churros aren't hard to make. It's just I didn't want to make them. I was overwhelmed, and when you don't have the right tool, you're probably bound to screw them up. So
Have
today,
you ever heard the quote, a poor craftsman blames his tools?
but you're the one who told me I used the wrong tool.
I know.
This kid's gonna get fired. So what your job is today is to make churros and explain all the pitfalls so that the people out there don't screw it up like me and can make perfect churros.
Do you have the wrong piping bag so we can show them?
I only have these, but this is not what I used 3 years ago. I used like a rubber, it's like a chicken throat rubbery piping bag. It didn't work.
Yeah, I use these at home for a lot of things, but
Not for piping.
no, the dough can't handle, or this can't handle the dough.
We're making what is called a pâte à choux dough.
Yes, pâte à choux. And the pâte à choux, you guys know, it's very thick, this dough. It's like a little thicker than a brioche, probably. And this going through plastic, that's just gonna stretch plastic like that. And this, that won't stretch. I could pull that as much as I want. It's gonna stay. That's why we want to use, what is this, nylon?
What we'll do is he's gonna find me a link online to some quality version and I'm gonna offer it
Or
to
we
us.
might go to a restaurant store today and we'll
No,
get
no.
them one. Because I want
they need
to
one.
find the restaurant
They need
store.
one, Matt. They
Go
need
to your
one.
local restaurant store.
They don't have one.
They do. Everyone
They
has
don't
a
have
restaurant
one.
store.
We're gonna get you a link
Okay.
to something like this, right, Matt?
We'll get you the sneaky link, yes.
Okay. So what's step one? Make the dough.
Step one, we need liquid. Actually, we should
What
get
does
our eggs.
liquids mean?
Like, we need the water, butter, sugar, salt in a pot. What's this? Handsome eggs? How handsome are your eggs?
Not as handsome as you.
Not cute.
Which one are you?
I don't know. I feel like I'm cage free.
You're free range. I'm up there with pasture raised organic. So walk us through it, my boy.
Okay. Biscuit mix. Is this biscuit mix or flour? What is this?
That's for sure biscuit mix, my dude.
This is how I measure my cups. This is a quart, this line. This is 2 cups. That goes in. So that equals 397 if you want to show them.
397 grams of water.
Yes.
400.
400. Sugar.
150 grams.
150. There you go. Butter. Doing 75 grams. There we go. 75 grams. Pinch of salt.
Sugar, butter, and water go into the pan that's going on the stove.
Exactly. Tearing this. 400 grams of flour. That's that. That's it. That's good. Eggs.
Now we just want to get that pan on high heat, and we just want to bring that up to a boil and allow that sugar and butter to dissolve and to melt. Once we got that butter melted, that sugar's nicely dissolved, we're gonna get it off the heat and immediately transfer it into that mixing bowl that has the flour into it. Then we're gonna turn the KitchenAid on at a pretty high speed, and then we're gonna slowly work in those 2 eggs. Once those eggs are worked in, just beat it on high for a minute or 2 more until that dough comes together. It should be thick, it shouldn't be too sticky, it definitely shouldn't be too loose. We want it to be thick enough to hold the shape when it pipes. Speaking of the piping bag, we're gonna get that star tip in the piping bag and then fill it up with that dough. And then with a sheet tray lined with parchment paper, we're gonna spray with some cooking spray and then cover that with cornstarch. That's gonna allow us to pipe them onto the sheet tray without them sticking. And then Matt's just gonna go through piping different shapes, different sizes, just to show the variety that you can do with this piping bag and this dough to make different, fun types of churros. Then I jump in with a knife, help him cut these bad boys up. And you can fry these right away, but while we work on the caramel, he suggests we can store these into the freezer so that you can kind of always have them ready to go. Oh. Yeah, just get it all out at the top. Get everything out of there.
What is this?
I want to see if it's any good gluten-free pasta.
Did they send it to you?
Yeah. In the meantime, we can get some oil in a pot, or we can use a saute pan according to Matt. And we're just gonna fill it up with a frying oil. He wanted some peanut oil. We added a little bit of canola oil, whatever you got. Just don't fill it up more than halfway. And of course, Matt starts preparing the caramel without me. Ooh, spoon. Whoa.
250.
Okay.
235. We are good to go.
Then we just want to get that sugar into a pot along with that water. We're going to turn the heat on full blast and we're not going to touch it. We're going to leave it alone.
This water gets hella hot.
Did I even clean it?
Yeah. It's a good way to get the dough out.
You just want to bring that up to a boil and just let that go until that sugar dissolves and that sugar begins to caramelize and turn a deeper caramel color. And once it starts to turn a color, it's gonna happen fast. So as soon as you see the edges of that caramel start turning a nice golden, you're gonna really want to pay attention. And as it gets darker and darker, you're gonna start to swirl it. That'll caramelize the rest of the mixture nicely and evenly. And then we're gonna add in the cream. And once you add the cream, it's gonna create a bit of a reaction. That's why you wanna make sure you're just using a nice tall pot. You just wanna whisk it all together, and then you turn the heat off and it'll all simmer down. Then you wanna add that knob of butter, and you just wanna keep whisking it until that's fully dissolved and that caramel begins to cool down. We're just gonna set it off to the side, let it cool down while we turn the heat back up on our oil, bring it up to a 350-degree frying temperature. And while we wait for it to come up to temperature, Matt and Victoria enjoy my very fun craft services display. You guys enjoying my craft service table?
Oh yeah, it's the best table ever.
Yeah.
Best studio set.
Look at these chunks.
Yeah, it's not the. That's not. Look, I mean, the cookie doesn't even hold.
It doesn't
I
even
could.
hold. What's
I could write an entire essay
Oh.
on those. What do you think of the Catalina Crunch?
Better than your mom's house.
What does that mean?
Whatever you want to me.
Don't be like that, Matt.
No,
Don't go talking about that. Don't go talk about stuff like that. And once our frying oil is up to 350, we can get our churros out of the freezer and into the oil. And then since we have such a wide surface area with this particular pan, we can go ahead and add all the churros at once. And just like we do anything frying, we're gonna just regulate the temperature. We're gonna make sure it stays in that 350 range. If it drops a little bit, we're gonna bump the temperature up. If it's a little bit too high, we're gonna lower it. And we're just gonna move them around, and we're just gonna make sure that they turn a really nice dark brown. You'll see the edges start to fry up and darken before that core does. So if you see a little bit of that white in the crevices of that star tip shape, then you just want to keep it going until it's nicely evenly browned across the entire surface of the churro.
The tall one.
Take this out of context and you're canceled. I got the tall Mexicans in my fridge.
There it is, the tall Mexicans, Cokes.
These are the real ones. These are the good ones. Oh wow, the flip and everything. What's real service right here? Oh, the flare.
You just want to be patient. These guys took about 8 minutes to cook. Moving them around, just making sure we're regulating the temp and that they're nicely browned across the entire surface and each crevice of those churros. And then once they're done, we strain them out and add them directly into a bowl.
See, I like mine darker. I don't know, I just like everything darker, I guess. We're making cooking videos here.
Well, whatever that means. And then we can go in with the cinnamon sugar, which is just about 1 cup of sugar to 1 tablespoon of cinnamon.
Wanna give her some turns? Look at that flip. You're watching a master at work. Master flipper. There she is.
All right, let's.
Ramo?
It's hot.
A Ramo can?
Get the flaky son. Get your hand up behind.
What if you hold the churro? What is this?
You look like an idiot when you're doing it. I don't know. I know it's not you. You're not Italian when you do it for some reason. I don't know why. Just loosen it up. Why are you making a fist? I want to give you a smack sometimes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's better than what I made.
These are so bad for you.
If we want to get these guys to make your recipe, I'm going to leave a link down to Matt's channel and this recipe down in the description. I've had enough of this guy. I'm done with him, kicking him out. That's all that we got today. I'll see you next time. Until then, take care of yourself and go feed yourself.